Who do you think is the right guy to pick at number one?
Oh, it's Bryce Young. 1,000%. It's exactly who's favored right now. And there's not a lot of times, I think, that when you have a quarterback class that, everybody kind of has a problem in the evaluation, that the best guy goes first. In this case, he's the best guy by far. I know that there's a lot of concerns about his size and the lack of it, but when you look at him, and first off, the fact that he played in the SEC, that is the best conference in all of college football. It's the most physical. It's the most dominating. More players get drafted out of there every year than any other conference in America, and that's why, because they are so physical. They are so much better there. Everybody's worried about body types in that conference, and that's why his size doesn't bother me, because he held up very well for 2 years in the SEC. Missed one game, which for a quarterback at that stature is nothing. And he's taken some massive hits. If you go watch that Tennessee game, that LSU game, there are some hits that he gets rocked, and he gets right back up, no problem, comes back, throws a dart. And the Tennessee game too, if you remember, he's coming off that game that he missed with the shoulder. That he was tackled, I think, by Drew Sanders at Arkansas, and kind of landed awkwardly and messed up his shoulder, and that's what caused him to miss the following week. But that guy, I mean, he's tough. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks we've seen in a long time. He's probably the best improviser we've seen in a long time. Like his ability when the play breaks down to get outside the pocket and make something happen is incredible. So, yeah, I think he's by far the best guy in this class. There's no one that's really that close to him.
What are the ceilings potentially for these other three guys? Are they in the level of where they could be Pro Bowl franchise quarterbacks? Are you down on any of them, of the other three?
Richardson, I think, is potentially a superstar, in the same way that Cam Newton was.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The thing with Anthony Richardson is there's not a lot that he does from a quarterback mechanical standpoint that's bad. The one thing that's bad consistently is his feet. He's not consistent with them. He's shown the ability to get through his drops and, get the ball out on time, hitch step, hit the back of his drop, come back up and do exactly what he's supposed to, but he's not consistent doing that yet. So that's kind of his issue, is his feet. You get his feet all worked up and fixed up, and this guy's got a top 5 arm in the league as soon as he walks in terms of arm strength. He's got a top 5 athlete at the quarterback position. I mean, this guy's basically Dante Culpepper, but better as an athlete. Culpepper had crazy numbers when he tested at the combine years ago. Like, you go back and you compare those two, it's insane.
Well, hold on one second. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I remember a guy that San Francisco gave up a ton of draft stock for, and that's Trey Lance. And everybody was saying, this guy's the real deal. This guy is going to be one of the better young quarterbacks in the NFL. He played, 4 games, and this year he got hurt with 2 games, and now he loses his job to the last pick of last year's draft, Brock Purdy, because he steps in, and yes, he had a good season, but he didn't really have to do as much as everybody thought he did. And yes, he took the team all the way to the NFC title game, but again, the NFC stinks. So they have already given up on Trey Lance. They're asking what they can get from other teams that are offering. Tennessee is one of those teams that are interested in him. So for everybody to say, and I understand you, man, and I respect your opinion with this, this Richardson thing. As talented as he is, as good of his arm, as strong his arm is, and what he did at the combine, running and jumping. I mean, he's breaking records for a quarterback. I can't look at the combine and say, wow, that kid is going to be the next Cam Newton. That guy as a Dante Culpepper. That guy is going to be a superstar in the league. I don't know. I don't really think so. Because we've seen great players do great things at the combine. They get drafted and they look like a bag of dirt.
So I think the first time I ever came on this show was that year with Trey Lance.
Yes, you did.
If I remember.
Yes, you did.
And do you remember what I told you about Trey
Yes, you did. Yes, I do. Okay. Yes, I do.
So you know that I don't buy into combine numbers, and I'm not, a guy goes to the combine, the Underwear Olympics, and he looks great. That's not what I'm basing it off of. What I'm basing it off of is when you watch him in the pocket, and the pocket becomes congested, does he fluster?